It's Saturday, about 3:30 p.m., 69 degrees. Wind is going anywhere from 13 to 28 miles per hour. So hopefully the audio comes out good. I purposely drove further away from Philly just to test out my brand new skates. I have my assistant here, Bun. Bun, feeling good today?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions for the viewers?
Yeah, would you prefer hard boots or soft boots for your skates?
Bun would like to know if you prefer soft boots or hard boots. That's a great question, Bun.
Of course.
Which boots do you prefer?
Soft boots.
You would prefer soft boots?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is
100%.
that?
Because it feels better.
It feels more comfortable?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I will create another video to compare soft boots and hard boots. For now, the purpose of this video is to review Powerslide.
Yay!
You know, I spent a lot of time debating on what kind of brand, what models to buy, and I narrowed down to Powerslide. Powerslide Next 90 Black and White version. Now, I believe this model came out back in 2021, so this is not the latest model, but it is one of the higher rated models Powerslide offer. Now, keep in mind that I clock in maybe close to like 75 hours worth of my soft boots. I have yet to try hard boots. Okay, it's got windy. Now, the last time I actually tried hard boots was when I was younger. I was maybe, I don't know, 10, 13 years old. I owned a hard boots just for a little bit. So, as an adult, this is going to be my first time trying out hard boots. Inline skates. Let me do the sniff test.
What? Okay.
Ooh, smell like factory. There we go. Love that smell. Left the tags on. Next, Black and White 90. Now, this is a German brand, so their shoe sizing is kind of weird, right? They have something called like EU 46 to 40 someone, and EU 46 40 someone is equivalent to a size US 12 and 12 and a half, which is kind of odd because if you look at the next size under, it goes from 10 and a half to 11. So apparently they skip 11 to 12. The next size is 12 and 12 and a half. So that was kind of odd, you know, or maybe that's how it is. But yeah, I feel like size 12 is what I normally wear for Nike, Reebok. Under Armour, I wear size 13, so I was on the borderline of getting a size 12 over a size 13. Now, I had tested this out the other day just to make sure it fits. And the first impression is, even though these are 90s millimeter, it feels like a cross between 84 and 90 because, you know, I was so used on my K2 Bow S290. This is also 90 millimeters, but because I was so used to my K2s, it feels lower on my Powerslide due to the Trinity mounting system here. So the Trinity mount here actually brings the boots lower, closer to the wheels itself. There's an electric gap, so it feels like I'm actually lower, and you know, it feels like I'm not really on the 90s, even though technically the wheels are 90s, but because it's on the Trinity mount, it feels lower. Because it's lower, it actually made me feel like I have more like stability. And maybe that's the nature of hard boots, right? Just by skating on it for a couple of minutes, the stability is actually a lot more stable versus soft boots. It's not as comfortable as my K2 soft boots. The skates came in these white bags to prevent dirt from hitting it. It also came with instruction books, which I don't think anyone cares. And what I was surprised to find out is it also came with a 2-bag here. So unlike my K2s, I had to buy a separate bearings or Allen wrenches. This one came with it. So Powerslide, yeah, there's some extra like screws in here. Powerslide offered their own bearings and wheels removal. So this Powerslide tool comes in handy. So see how the Powerslide on my right hand side, the base of the boot is a lot closer to the wheels. There's like maybe 1 or 2 centimeter gaps. And on my K2 Vo2 S90, there's a bigger gap between the base of the boot and the wheels. So already just by looking at it, the Powerslide actually bring me lower to the ground, which offers more power transfer. And that's what the Trinity mount is known for. It's actually brings you lower to the ground compared to most skates, or maybe every skate. And maybe some skates, there's not much of a difference. I'm removing one of the bolts from the frame. I'll show you guys how the wheel looks like. So I just removed the front wheel from one of the skates. And this comes with the Powerslide spinner, 90mm, 88A hardness. And the bearings appears to be Apex 9 Wicked. First time owning Apex 9 Wicked brand. I have the Reds, Bones, Apex 9 at home. I also have the ILQ9 bearings, but this is the first time trying this brand for Apex 9. Pretty cool. Also, my first Hardboots, first skates, that's in white color. Normally, I would prefer my skates in black color, but you know, they offer a great deal that I can't pass. It was like 40% off. I paid for the total for the skates, cost me $194.99. There were only 2 sizes left. So it was the EU 46 to 47 and the EU 48 to 49. Those were like the only 2 sizes they have left on sale. But yeah, I mean, so far, just based on the aesthetic alone, really fancy, really sleek looking. The Wicked Apex 9 red color bearings matches with the Powerslide spinner red stripes, as well as the MyFit Recall liners. This is my first time trying Hardboots out, so I'm not really familiar with the brands. If anyone recommends any kind of other options, like for wheel sizes or even brand, let me know in the comments below. You know, let me know if there's other options for the liners. And again, first time trying Hardboots, so I will stick with the defaults for now, play around with it, and see how it feels like before I try switching it up. Okay, I placed my right boot on, and the length feels excellent. The width, however, feels kind of tight. It feels like I have a shackle on my ankle right now. And, you know, that's why I heard for a lot of the Hardboots, it takes some time for you to break it in. Now, comparing my experience to a soft boot, the soft boot feels more like a sneaker shoes fit to it. Whereas the Hardboots feels more like I have shackles chained to my ankles right now. That's what it feels like. But it feels like it's more sturdier, more stability, and less wiggling room inside the boot right now. Notice I had to unlock the bottom buckle as well as the top, because these are so damn tight. You have to open up all of the straps before placing your foot inside the boot. So now this makes it easier for me to place my left foot inside the left boot. And with Powerslide, the release system is a little bit more complex than K2. For Powerslide, on the lower strap, there's a release point right here. And then there's another trigger point to tighten it up. So it's 2 different systems depending on whether you want to release or tighten your boot. And then right here is just the release point right here on the top. The top strap has a release point. You have to pull it out right here to release it. So that's something different I'm not used to. Whereas the K2, there is no like 2 different release point or tighten point. It's just one strap with one buckle and it's release or tighten. So putting it on the Powerslide takes me longer to put my skates on compared to my K2s. Now this Powerslide is different than my K2 Vo 2S. There is no BOA system, so I have to manually tie my shoelaces, which is good, right? Because this gives me more strength actually for me just to tighten out myself. But it takes longer for me to tie my shoelaces. Okay, laces are tightened somewhat. And now let me show you guys how the bottom strap works. So I have to like first I place my strap inside the buckle, and then I just slowly lift up the plastic tab here, and see how it's actually tightening it up by each tick. These are like, I believe these are like 1 centimeter thick. Every time I lift up the plastic tab, it tightens the strap by 1 tick. And then for the top one, I'm able to push it in. Yeah, so once I tighten up the plastic here, I'm able to push the buckle back on this side, and it will actually lock it in. Alright, so now I feel both my skates are secure. The only thing I don't like is the access shoelaces. See how it kind of dangles right here? I'm sure there's like a better way to tie my shoelaces. I'm not really sure what's the optimal way. Comment down below if anyone has tips to tie their shoelaces. For now, I'll place the access shoelaces. I'll put it underneath the, or right behind the cuff area. Left my tag on. Oh yeah, wow. Yeah, it feels like I'm a lot lower on the ground, even though I'm used to skating on 90s. It's windy right now. Woo! The noise it makes is different too. Yeah, I feel like my wheels has more traction compared to the K2 Vo2 S90. You know, it's not as comfortable fit, but I'm sure for a hard boots, this is considered comfortable. It's actually a lot more narrow than my K2 Vo2 90. Woo! Wow, okay. I like it. I just don't know if my shoes is tight enough. See how my boot, the right side is like a big gap? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to make the cuff closer or maybe that's how it is. When I skate it on my K2 Vo2 S90, there's no spaces between my shin and the cuffs. So I'm not sure if this is how it's supposed to be. But you know, it feels comfortable for me right now. Yeah, it feels really solid. Going uphill. Woo! Let's try doing the soul slide. Woo! Wow, okay. I'm impressed. All right, let's go downhill. Try this out. Windy. Oh man. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, so far I haven't felt the wheels shaking left and right yet, you know. Whereas when I skate it on my K2 and on the surface it's not really paved, like right here, it's not actually paved. The wheels wobble back and forth a lot more compared to my hard boots. Let me try a T-stop. Going down one more time. Woo! Another windy day makes it kind of difficult to skate. Woo! feel like the drag stop's a lot easier too. I'm gonna bend my knees lower too without fear of falling down. The view feels a lot more stable here. After skating for like 5 minutes, there's definitely some pressure points near my ankles area, so I'm not sure if it's a matter of time, you know, till I break in the skate and maybe I don't feel as much pressure points. But right now, on both angles, the left and right side hurts. You know, but it made me feel a lot more stable though, compared to the soft boots. Woo! Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna bend my body even lower now. Woo! Woo! Wow. Woo! Rest my ankles for a little bit. I'm gonna sit back down, rest my ankles. Maybe you had the top strap too tight, have to loosen it up. But I definitely feel a lot of pressure points on my top, my ankle area. What happened? Right?